Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another first change video here for It's a Dog's Life. We are joined today by Karis, who is our new player.
Hi.
And, hello there. And we are going to follow the, shall we say, the misadventures of Molly. And the way this whole thing starts out is with Molly being Molly is in school at this time, or rather, you are on your way home from school, and it's been a particularly rotten day. It's been a day of, where basically Murphy's Law has been temporarily renamed to Molly's Law. Everything that could possibly go wrong has gone wrong for you, up to and including getting into a fight with someone else at some point over something that you kind of know instinctively was stupid and idiotic, but at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And your parents have been notified that you are in fact getting that you have been in this fight, so you can't even keep it from them because the school have already contacted them. And going home to this is probably, I imagine, is not exactly high on Molly's lists of I want to do this right now.
No, definitely not.
And as you're walking along the road with your bag over your shoulder, a couple of kids from school race by on their bikes and they shout obscenities at you like beanstalk and just stupid low class taunts like that. But it just adds to an already thoroughly fucking rotten day.
Yeah. And like they're very lucky they're on bikes right now.
Yes, because otherwise they would be flat on their fucking asses on the grass. There's no question about it. And then just as you turn a corner, of course it has to happen because it's one of those days. The skies open up and down comes the rain, and it's like
great.
From 1 second to the other, and it's in damn buckets. It's raining cats, dogs, and small automobiles. So, would you say that Molly is, of course she's in her school uniform, but would you say that she's wearing an overcoat or anything that's appropriate for this kind of weather?
Probably not. I like to imagine it was probably pretty clear weather when she left home.
Yeah, probably. And welcome to Yorkshire weather.
Yeah.
So you get drenched in a matter of moments, and it's just like, what else can go wrong, right? And you spot, sitting next to the road, you spot a dog. It's a fairly large one. It's kind of, it's not a good-looking beast by any stretch of the imagination, but it looks even more miserable than you, considering the weather. So at least you're not completely alone in your misery.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
And but the dog, when you get a little bit closer, looks at you, and you have this weird feeling, very strange feeling, that it's really scrutinizing you. What do you do?
I think for a moment, Molly looks at the dog, kind of, scrutinize, like counter-scrutinizing it.
Okay,
although she doesn't really.
Doge is judging your life choices, and you are judging Doge.
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
Like for a second, before seeing, realizing, oh right, I'm standing in the middle of a downpour. I should probably get some kind of
Yeah.
cover.
Yes. Well, there's what's it called? Like a chip shop nearby where you sometimes can duck in and
Yep, good
buy
enough.
some fish and chips or something like that, and at least you'll be out of the rain while the downpour goes on. And it also means that you won't be home for a little while longer, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, so I think I'll head that way.
yeah. And just as you pop in through the door, you can feel your cell phone going bzz, 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 with a message.
Yeah, I'll Molly will look at it real quick.
Yeah. It's from your dad going, "We have to talk, young lady."
Yeah, not right now. Stuff it back in my I assume it's a skirt?
Yes.
Yeah, so stuff it back away.
Yeah.
Not dealing with this right now.
No. And you get something to eat, I assume?
Yeah, probably kind of maybe nursing a small wound that she managed to accrue during the day.
Yes, well, during the fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not it's not evening or anything, but it's been one of your longer days in school, so it is getting towards the end of the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And while you're sitting there nursing the wound and munching on some chips, your phone buzzes a few more times, and whether you check it or not, you already know that it's basically your dad saying, "Where are you?" and "You're coming straight home," and
Yeah.
shout like that.
Ignore.
Yeah, basically. And it takes about 10 minutes or so, and then one of your mates from school, one of your actual friends from school, pops her head in because apparently she saw you through the window. So this person, who is she? What's she called?
Oh wow, you're putting me on the spot here. What's she called? That's a good question. How about Nora?
Nora, yes. Nora puts her head through the window almost, and not it's open, so she's not she doesn't break it, but she puts her head in and says, "Oh hey, what the hell? Are you all right? You look a bit worse for wear there."
Nah, shit day. Don't want to talk about it, to be honest.
All right, no problem. I'll just come in and share a milkshake or something. And
Sure.
She does pop in and she buys herself and you a milkshake and sits down across from you. And she and basically taking a cue on the whole I don't want to talk about having had a shit day. She begins telling you about her day, which has been nothing out of the ordinary or spectacular, but at least it's something to take your mind off things, right?
Yeah.
And she's basically, for the last week or so, Nora has been suffering boyfriend trouble.
I think Molly internally rolls her eyes so hard that they probably get stuck in the back of her head.
Yes.
She tries not to show it
Yes.
outwardly, but probably fails.
And well, you may fail at it, but Nora is so engrossed in her own tale of woe that she apparently doesn't actually get it.
Oh my god.
This apparently her boyfriend, who is he is not exactly the hunkiest guy in school to start with, but apparently he has now thrown his affections on someone else. And Nora is feeling incredibly dejected and robbed and so on.
Poor you.
It's actually a bit weird because Nora is a good-looking girl, and basically he's the one who's been punching above his weight class in that regard. But but for some reason he's apparently found someone he'd rather be with, and she yaps on for a little bit about this while finishing off her what's it called, her milkshake.
A milkshake.
So yeah, the question now becomes, of course, does Molly have someone that she's got her eyes on, male, female?
You know what? Maybe it's Nora.
All right. I kind of like
secretly, yeah. I think that's fun.
Yeah. And and because it's a secret, of course, Nora is completely oblivious and clueless.
Yeah.
And of course, eventually says, "So I heard that you've got someone that you're looking that you're looking into. Do tell."
Gay panic. I think Molly just sips her, like, what's left of her milkshake.
Yeah.
Not as interesting as your whole deal.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure.
If you want to keep it secret, then I understand, she says, and winks. And, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more.
Internal screaming.
Internal screaming, indeed. And basically, a little time goes by like this. A little time passes. Eventually, she has to, to head off again and head home. But she's like, I'll see you tomorrow, and call me sometime in the evening if you want to talk, because you really do look like you had a miserable day. And then she heads off. And unfortunately, it's probably also getting around the time where you just, the constant buzzing of your cell phone is of such an intensity by now that it's becoming impossible to ignore.
Yeah. I like to imagine that it's just buzzing on the table and like slowly buzzing to the corner.
Yes. And now it's almost falling over the edge.
Yeah, like the moment it begins falling, she catches it.
Yeah.
Gets up. Yeah, she picks it up.
Yeah.
I assume it's her dad calling.
Yeah, it is. It is. And he's not actually calling. He's sending text message after text message.
Right.
Okay.
Like,
where are you? And are you out with someone? And it's the texts are becoming a little almost paranoid. Like he's starting to accuse you of, the last text is basically, okay, out with it. What's his name?
Okay.
Wouldn't it just be fucking beautiful if you actually wrote back and soon wrote Nora?
I'm not gonna lie, I considered it, so I might still do that. So I think, like, let's say the fish and chips shop owner is like Joe or something.
Yes.
And I think she thanks him,
yeah,
for.
Yeah, he gives you a smile.
Letting him.
You've been there often enough that he knows you by name, so he gives you a smile. It's all right.
Yeah. Is it still raining outside?
No, it's quiet. It's gone dry again. It's the streets are wet, but there's no more rain.
Yeah. I think Molly will step outside and actually does send Nora, just as only reaction.
Brilliant. There's your father actually sends a 3-dot response, like ...
Oh my god.
And then
He's that kind of father. Oh no.
And then it's like, I don't care where in York you are right now, you're coming straight home.
Send a text, you're not my real dad. No. I think, what does she do? I think, she's kinda, yeah, you know what? She is gonna go, back, kinda slowly as she was walking, to her home and kinda whipping herself into a frenzy to the point where, by the point she, opens the door, she's already really pissed off.
Well, something happens just before you get there, or maybe a couple of roads away from your home. Because he is basically, by now, you are getting a more or less constant barrage of texts, and your mother has now joined in. Your mother's first text was Nora and then 7 question marks. And so clearly your father has informed her of what is going on.
This is why I never tell my dad anything.
Yes. And but for you to deal with the constant hammering of texts and so on, as you are about to, or basically you cross the road, maybe, as I said, 2 streets away from being home, and the last thing you hear is the screeching of tires. And you realize at the last moment that you had your eyes on the screen, not on the road.
Oh.
The next thing you realize is that you wake up somewhere completely different. And something is really awfully wrong. You, first and foremost, you wake up in the Dean's Park, which is right here. You recognize the place.
Sorry, I didn't quite... Oh, yeah.
It's fairly easy to recognize because it's right next to York Minster, which is an enormous building.
Okay.
It's a Gothic cathedral, so it's kind of difficult to miss.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that before, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, apart from that, it's, ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience, this is a service announcement. If you are ever in Northern England, make sure to go by York and visit York Minster. It's worth the trip. But of course it also means that when you wake up, you realize that you are in Dean's Park, because it's the only, the angle compared to the church is right, and so on. It's dark. Yeah. So you've been out for a while. It's actually, at this point, it's late summer. So you have no real idea what time it is off the top of your head, but it has to be really late because it's pitch black. It's dark.
Yeah, I think her first instinct is to go for her phone. See what time is it? What time it is.
And that's when you realize that you're completely naked.
Like, I think there's a kind of awkward moment of what the fuck, and then kind of just very awkward scrambling as she tries to look around.
Yeah, and as you
is this some kind of prank?
And as you realize you're naked, you also realize that there's an awful lot of blood here, including on you.
I think as she realizes it, I imagine there's like a slight bit of light somewhere that allows her to see this.
Yes, there's enough light from the city to see this. But you are alone. There's nobody around.
I think she looks at her hands, like the bloodied hands, for a moment, and kind of trying to not panic.
Yeah, hyperventilating somewhat.
Yeah, like just barely holding it in.
Yes. At that point, of course, the only sound you hear is ruff, ruff, ruff,
she'll turn to the dog noise.
Yes, and it's the same dog you saw earlier, the one who judged your life choices. There's no mistaking it. It's the same shaggy beast.
She just kind of stares at it for like a good 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
Before I think her response is like, because she has this feeling of, oh, this dog is back to laugh at my troubles somehow.
Yes.
So she's gonna look for like a stick or a rock or something and toss it at it.
Yes. The dog looks at the stick that's coming towards it and then just kind of sidesteps it, looks at the stick flying past, then looks back to you with tilts its head slightly to the side and goes, ruff. It's like very, very clearly it's not overly impressed.
Okay, so Molly goes, what the fuck? Who? What do you want? What do you want?
The dog sits down, and the next thing you realize is you must be going mad, because the dog actually answers you and says, well, I want to know who you are to begin with.
Okay, so this is a nightmare. Okay, waking up. How do you do this again? Oh, right, pinch. Oh no, okay. Okay. Okay.
No, the dog says, you are not asleep, but you are one of us.
What?
I followed you here. And you made a right mess of things.
What do you mean I made a right mess? The last thing I remember is a truck.
Yeah, or a car or something. I was nearby when that happened. The driver of that car is dead. And the car will never be a car again.
What?
And then you went through the rearview mirror of the car. So you're in the Umbra. And
the what?
Oh dear, I don't think you have any idea what I'm talking about.
I don't. Who are you?
Me? Oh. I'm called. Well, let's just go with my given name. He changes shape. Right in front of you from this great big shaggy dog, which looks kind of, well, it is kind of wolf-like.
Mm-hmm.
And he changes shape over, grows into a like a dire wolf into Krenos. Basically, he goes the whole way through all the different shapes until he's in Homid.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at you and he kind of, cracks his neck a little and says, my name is Jasper.
I think as he finishes his transformation, Molly jumps back a little bit, grabs another stick, and just holds it up as like a quote-unquote weapon.
Yes. He takes his he's wearing like a coat, it's not a particularly heavy one or anything, but it's like a long jacket basically. He takes it off and he tosses it at you and is like, cover yourself up at least, for goodness sake.
I mean, she'll take the jacket and put it on. Yeah.
Yeah. And he gives you a sort of a wolfy sort of grin. He doesn't have two straight teeth in his entire mouth. It's like every tooth is crooked. And he looks you up and down and says, so you really have no idea. That's fine.
No. What?
That is funny. Alright. I guess.
How is this funny? Is this some sort of prank?
No. Being a werewolf is serious business.
You know, if I didn't just see you change from a wolf, I would.
What?
Just,
Throw another stick?
okay, just explain.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. I thought I smelled something on you when I saw you earlier today. You had a whiff about you. And what happened was you walked out in front of a car. You changed shape at the last moment. The car hit you. That hurt the car more than it hurt you. You took a tumble over the hood, crushed the driver underneath you on the way. That killed him. Congratulations, you have your first kill. Even if it was a civvy. And you are before you realized what was going on, I guess you must have looked into the remains of the rearview mirror because you got sucked in here. And in here, for reference, he says, and it's like, oh God, I'm not particularly good at this, but okay, this is the spirit world. Welcome. It's a world that lies adjacent to the world you've known your entire life. And it's just as real. And it's your good fortune that it happened, because quite frankly, you running around looking like a werewolf in the middle of suburban York might have led to certain questions.
Well, So, let me get this straight. I was hit by a truck, turned into what, like wolf thing? Killed someone.
Yeah, while you say that, he changes shape again into Krynos, and says,
She
yes,
definitely jumps back.
this is the form you changed into.
What the fuck?
He grins again, still lots of crooked teeth.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Fuck. What time is it? What?
It's about 1:30 in the morning.
God, my parents. What? Okay. How do I? What do I do?
Well, to begin with, you take a deep breath and relax because, you can't really do much about it being 1:30 in the morning. That's just the way it is. If you want to go home, I can take you there.
She looks like she's on the verge of crying and kind of like more panicky than really sad.
Yeah.
Like, just you have been a werewolf for a while then.
Well, we both have our entire lives. We just haven't known until we reach a certain age. But yes, I know what you mean. I've been around for a few years. Yes.
Just She just stammers on for a little bit, kind of just paralyzed, in this whole thing. And after a while, she goes, "Maybe it's best if I go home."
Maybe it is. Oh, I'll take you there then. Don't say I didn't do anything for you. Keep the jacket. He
Right.
He extends a hand, sort of like, reaches down to give you a hand up if you want one.
She doesn't take it. She stands up on her own.
All right. He seems to appreciate you doing that. He gives you a sort of a nod of he likes that you're not looking for help.
Mm-hmm. Like, she's still very panicky, but there's a certain sense of self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
There.
And he nods and takes you. He basically he gestures for you to follow him, so to say. And, and he goes to the nearest building that he can find, and finds the car parked outside, and everything looks just very slightly distorted. The buildings lean a little bit more. The cars look just a little bit wrong. It feels like where you are right now, it doesn't feel like a friendly place, so to say.
She like probably pulls the jacket a little bit lower just to cover herself up a bit more, and then gets a little bit closer just to because he's big scary wolf man. He can do he can probably punch whatever is here.
Yeah. He's like, we could use this to get back out, but you're still mostly naked, so let's stay in here until we get closer to your home, and then we can find some place where you can hop out when we get there. And he continues to walk.
She just kind of goes, wait, but shouldn't we get out of, what was it, Umbra?
Yeah, but
this doesn't seem safe.
No, but would you say that it's safe running around the streets of downtown Yorkshire in your state of undress at this time of night?
I suppose that's a good point.
You'll be fine, you're with me. Don't worry.
Right. Jasper, right?
Jasper.
Yeah, okay, lead the way then, I suppose.
He looks you up and down and gives you like a sort of another wolfy grin, and he leads on, and he gets you. You recognize the streets that you walk through. They're empty for the most part. You don't see people here, but occasionally you hear stuff moving about behind you, or in down an alleyway or something like that, and whenever you try to look, if you try to look, there's you don't really catch a glimpse of much of anything until you get to pretty much the place where you apparently got hit by the car, and he finds a mirror somewhere around there. There's a mirror on the side of an antique shop. Where you can see there's a part of their display, and he says, look into that and focus real hard on being back home. Okay.
She tries to do that, but it's difficult considering everything that's going on.
Exactly. And he's like, no, clear your head, and just the only thing you need to think about is being home, all right? It's the only thing you should think about right now.
Okay. Home.
Yes, and as you do that, after a couple of moments where nothing really happens, you have this weird feeling that you're getting sucked into the mirror, and everything swirls in weird colors and stuff around you, and you find yourself standing on the side of the road, and there's police tape, and there's the wrecked car has of course been towed away, but it's pretty obvious that there's been a significant accident here.
Yeah. I think she kind of looks around. I assume there's some police officers like busy on there.
Not at this time of night. They've long since moved home, but you know,
Right.
they've taken down the reports and so on. But so you're looking at an empty road. It's that late, and it's in, you know, you're in the suburbs, so people are asleep at this time of night.
I think she'll go and like investigate this little area.
Yes. Well, you see the tire marks where whoever tried to hit the brakes. You know, the person who apparently hit you was trying to you know, stop before they did so.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's probably not been a truck. It's probably been like it's not that large from the looks of it. It looks like it's been a small car, but still, that's, you know, getting hit by that should have still plowed you into the ground, obviously.
Yeah. She's still kind of trying to process the fact that, you know, she not only survived this, but also obliterated a car during it.
Yes, and apparently killed a person.
Yeah.
And but that's pretty much all there's left to see. If there was any blood on the road, it's been washed away by now, both by another rain shower and by, you know, the people who came here to, well, remove the wreck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think from what little there is still to see, she just kind of hangs about for a minute, and then realizes, oh right, I'm pretty much naked except for this jacket. I should probably get going again.
Yes.
And like get home.
And when you get to your own home, when you get there, the lights are, amazingly enough, the lights are still on. Mom and Dad have not gone to bed yet.
I think she'll go up to the front door and just kind of ring the bell.
Well, it doesn't take more than a few moments before you have your mom hanging around your neck. However angry she might have been earlier, she's just kind of happy that you got home, obviously.
Yeah.
In one piece. And it's a weird sort of situation, because on one hand she's like, she's clearly upset and angry with you for having come home at this ungodly hour, and then she realizes the state of undress you're in and you know, and she's like, what has happened, and she's panicking and demanding answers, and she's happy and she's angry, and you know, she's a complete mess of emotions, obviously.
Yeah. I think Molly is kind of also a mess of emotions right now.
Yes.
I think it's just a very messy evening.
Yes. And of course your dad also, after a moment, arrives, and he, for just a split second, you have the feeling that he might be about to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
And that he doesn't, but it looks like he's that close.
Right.
And
where normally he wouldn't, like, no way
he ever would. But you know, for you might have a bad relationship, but it's not like that.
Yeah.
But he stops himself, and he looks shocked at what is and at himself, and then he throws his arms around you and his wife, your mother, and you know, just, you know, tries to figure out, and all he can keep saying is, where have you been, where have you been, where have you been? And he's just as much a mess as your mom is, or you yourself.
Yeah. I think she tries to explain that she went to the chip shop and then, like, something happened on the way. She doesn't quite get it. Like, it's very incoherent.
Yeah. Yeah, they are, they're not, it doesn't seem like you're making much sense to them, but for the most part, your mom basically breaks through at some point and says, "Shush! I don't care where she's been. She's home."
Mm-hmm.
And just as you are about to head back inside, you hear a noise behind you. Something you haven't heard before. There's just something, and it sounds wrong. All the little hairs on your arms, on your neck, everything just immediately stands up, and you spin around in order to see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything goes dark again. And you can't...
No.
Everything goes dark yet again. And the next thing you realize as you wake up, and this time you're outside. You've run in the other direction, apparently, this time. You're outside of York.
Mm-hmm.
There's more blood. And on you as well. And Jasper is sitting there next to you, shaking his head. Oh, you're really not having a good night, are you?
What? Did it happen again?
Yes, it did.
What? How? Why? Why? What? I just... Are my parents okay?
No. Well, your dad isn't. I think your mom is okay. Well, she's alive at least.
What? I didn't hurt my dad, did I?
No. But the Bane who followed you did.
The what?
A Bane. It's an evil spirit. They can manifest. It must have sensed you because you're that fresh. You're that new. It tried to kill you. Your dad got in the way. Sorry, kid.
Oh, no. That's... No. Everything was finally, like, looking... it was looking like it was going back to normal.
Nothing will be normal again for you, ever. Not the way you used to think of it. Here, he tosses a bag at you. There's the leg of a set of what are they called, sweatpants sticking out of the bag. So it's presumably it's some clothes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll put them on.
Yeah, and he has enough sense of decorum to at least turn his back while you do so.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he goes, don't know about you, but I might think twice before going back home anytime soon. It's a mess. Just so you know.
What do I do?
Well, for the time being, you stick with me and I'll teach you. But going back home, you risk bringing more of those things down on your mother.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Fuck.
He grins.
Wait.
That crooked wolfish grin again, and then reaches out, pats you on the shoulder. Says it'll be all right. Somehow.
Oh, it'll be alright, he says. My dad is dead, and it'll be alright, he says. You... Do you always do that? Just
What?
in general? Somebody dies, and you go, oh, it'll be alright?
For the most part, yes, I have to. People die a lot in our world.
It's not fucking alright, goddammit.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry for your loss.
She looks like she wants to be angry at him, but can't quite measure it right now. And she just kind of she kind of collapses into crying, I think, now.
And that is actually where we're going to leave the scene.
Yeah.
With you having had the worst kind of first change and the most horrific experiences with it, and being picked up by someone who will teach you.
Yeah.
Your deed name, because of all of this, because again you are a Bonegnawer, so deed names are rarely particularly glorious, or if they are, they at least have twin meanings.
Mm-hmm.
So in your case, your deed name is Car Crash.
God damn it. I knew it. I knew the moment I was hit by that car, I was like, yep, there it is.
There it is.
Fucking Car Crash.
Yes.
Can I change that to Car Crusher? I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go with that. Car Crusher. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
There you are.
The car never stood a chance, yeah.
No.
That's right, AJ.
Exactly, the car never stood a chance.
Neither did my dad, apparently. God damn.
And, yeah. We'll find out more about what has happened and so on as part of the game. But now you also have something that you can use to create more story for what has happened in the intervening period before we actually start playing.
Yeah, for sure. I'll have to read up on this Jasper guy.
Yes. He is...
let's see. Oh, he's a Metis. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Alright, and I will be ending the recording in just a few moments, but before we do so, I will say thank you for listening in to the listening audience, and we hope to see you for the other First Change stories, and of course for the future of the campaign as a whole. It's a Dog's Life. And yeah, bye for now.